Hey everybody, welcome to another video on the 67 Stang channel. So hope everybody had a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, or whatever holiday you happen to celebrate, or if you don't celebrate anything, hope you enjoyed a little time off from work and whatnot. So with that, y'all may remember in the last video I was working on getting the interior dash parts installed and encountered the problem with the instrument cluster, so we're going to try to take care of that today. But before I get into that, I want to point out the stuff back here. You can see it. So I want to thank Brenda and Mike, some friends of mine, that got me the Ford Mustang sign, the metal Mustang cutout that looks like my wife's Mustang, and then the Ford truck sign up there. Pretty cool. I think make it a nice backdrop with the two hubcaps on either side. Of course, now I realize one hubcap is higher than the other, but yeah, whatever. It works, but I think that'd make a nice backdrop to some of the videos going forward. So, so my plan today, or next couple of days, is to go ahead and get this instrument panel taken care of. So we determined that we thought it was the relay, so I'm going to kind of focus y'all in over here and we'll see what we got. Okay, so again, the instrument cluster, and right there is where the relay, that relay takes the power that comes in from the harness and takes it from 12 volts and drops it down to somewhere around 5.2 volts to feed the various gauges and stuff. So I've got a new one right here to put on. I got this from National Parts Depot. As you can see, there's the part number and all that. So if you go looking for these, you can get them from pretty much any Mustang or Ford old car part supplier, whatever. They range in price from like 20 bucks up to 40 bucks. And I couldn't figure out what the difference was between them. Some of them are, instead of mechanical relays, they were solid state relays, whatnot. I've heard, I got all kinds of different advice on these. So nothing was consistent. No one, anyway. So I went with the $20 one, and we'll see how that fares. I may have made a mistake. I did see some of the more expensive ones, like that were on CJ Pony Parts, had several bad reviews about reliability and stuff. So anyway, we'll put this on, see what it does, and kind of go from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out of the pack, and it will get mounted right there, right there. Sorry, I'm not flipping anybody off, but right there, and then we'll see if we can get things tested. So here I go. Okay, so we got the relay put in there. You see that it matches the wiring shown here on the American Auto Wire directions. So we got it in. So hopefully that's a good step. Now something else I've done is I've replaced the connectors that were here going to the gauges. So, well, not there. Let's see. Where's another one? Yep, there we go. And there we go. So you can see, if we go back up here, that they're using these blue connectors that were included in the kit, or to be used. Now I thought that those weren't as good as some of these double barrel connectors, like this one right here. And that's what I originally used when I put the harness together for the instrument cluster. Okay. Now my problem, or what I was thinking, and again, I'm no electrical guy, so I don't know if this is true, but if this was over here, right, and it had this bare metal, that there's a chance that that could be grounding out over here on the body of the instrument cluster, right? So because this is all metal, that's how the system grounds anyway, so that could be grounding out, and maybe that's what caused some of the issues as well. Maybe that's what made the relay go bad. I don't know. So I've gone back, put those plastic, or the ones with the blue plastic insulators back on there, or actually put them on there, so that maybe if that was a problem, and again, I don't know if it was, that would hopefully help prevent any sort of grounding issue from that perspective. So we'll see. What I'm going to do now is go into the car, get things hooked up and turn the key and see what we get. Maybe. So get that set up and put the camera in there and we'll see what happens. So I guess before I try to put this in the car, I should test that new relay to see if I'm getting anything out of it. The original one that I think is broken, I was getting nothing on this outside, right? So this is the input side, 12 volts comes into there, and then it goes through here and comes out at something like 5 to 6 or something like that. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's supposed to be pulsating. So we're going to kind of check, make sure we're getting something, because before we got nothing. So what I've done is kind of hook this up. So I've got my lead coming into the power wire, which is the brown connection on here, just to test that connection. It comes up and that's what comes into right here. Okay, I got that. Then of course I've got my ground, which is coming off here, and I have that grounded back to here, as well as I've got a lead going from here up over to there, right, to keep that grounded. The clips won't fit on that little bitty, but that should keep things grounded. So I've got power and I've got ground, should be. So what I'm going to do is take my little meter here. First I'm going to check it by putting the leads together and making sure it's 0. So it's on 0. Notice I'm doing a DC volts check. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do this one-handed. Let's see here if I can get it where I can see both of these things. So let's see here. This is not going to be easy to do one-handed. Let's see where. Put this so you might be able to see it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dang it, this is just well, we'll see if that laying that in there works, and then come over here, and if you can see that number up there, I'm going to put the lead onto here. Power, yeah, it's probably not grounded very well. Let's see. Nice, it did step it down. Now, I've been told that these digital ones aren't great for this because it pulses, so I'm not sure that's an accurate reading, but I'm getting something, which is more than I got before. And if I come over to here and put my lead on top of the post for the whatever gauge that is, and I'm getting 4.5, 4.3, 4.2 just on the top of that. I go down to the wire itself, I'm getting stuff bouncing around, which would go with the pulsing. So I think it's working. I mean, I don't know. As I said, I'm not an electrical guy, but I've got something flowing, which is more than I had before. So now with that, now that we know we get something at least, which is more than we had before, it's probably time to go test it in the car. So let's go try to give that a shot now. Well, that didn't work. So I hooked up the instrument cluster to test it before I showed it to y'all, and tried to crank the car. Car wouldn't crank. So popped the hood and was going to pour a little gas in the car to see if that helped. And when it did, it all came leaky out the bottom of the car. So apparently I've got a leak in the car. I'm not sure exactly where. I will show you kind of the area it's in, and then we'll see what we're going to do from there. Yeah, did I forget to mention, this happened to the monitor on my video editing computer. The hits just keep on rolling. Yay me. So now back to the other video. It's always something, isn't it? It just never fails. So anyway, let me pop the hood and bring you over here, and I'll kind of show you where it's leaking from the carb as best I can. Also, my trouble light bulb is out, so I can't show you that. Okay, again, sorry for the lack of light. I'll do the best I can. So I poured, gas in up here, and then it came leaking out all down in here somewhere. I can't exactly figure out where it is. What I may try to do is set up the camera and see if I can capture it as I pour a little gas. I don't want to do too much because, one, it's expensive gas, and two, well, it's gas. I don't leave a lot of gas there. So let's see if I can get the camera set up here in a way that I can film it. Maybe that'll help me see what's going on. So let's try that. Bring the tripod over here, get it set up, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, we'll see if this is going to work. Take a little gas from my gas can here. Just a little bit, not too much. Okay. You can see it looks like it's coming out from somewhere down over in here, in that area. Okay. It almost looks like it's coming up from this. Yep, it looks like it's coming from this screw that holds this bracket, which I think is part of the choke. Okay. I wonder if that just needs to be tightened up. Well, let's tighten that up real quick and see what happens. So, find... Sure if that's tightening or not, but let's see. Probably just put my arm in front of that, but that's okay. Okay, it's still leaking. I had that in there before. Not entirely sure how I had that in there before. Okay, pretty sure that tightened up. Let's see if this is gonna... And it's still leaking from there. Okay, I'm not sure tightening that up is going to fix it. Okay, I think what that's going to mean is I got to pull the carb off and see about that seal in there. I'm not sure if the rebuild kit had that in there or what. But that's where that's definitely coming from. Well, I'm going to think on this, and while I'm thinking on this, I'm going to actually go in and show you something else I got recently. So I got this here. At least I think you can see that. There we go. You can see it now. So this is a double groove water pump pulley for an inline six. These are apparently pretty hard to find. And you may ask, why do I have this? Well, eventually I want to put air and power steering on this car, and it requires a double groove water pump pulley for that. So I got this one. It's not in bad shape, but I'm going to sandblast it down so I can see it. Somebody tried to paint it up, did not a great job. So I want to clean it up and get it ready, and then I'll paint and prime it too. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the sandblasting cabinet and get it all cleaned up. We'll take a look at it after we're done. Okay, so we got it all nice and cleaned up. As you'll see here, I'll put a picture up. This thing had multiple layers of paint. It was black and blue, and there's a bunch of paint on here. I'm not sure exactly how many coats, but it took a while for me to get it clean. So I used the good old Harbor Freight blasting cabinet here, which worked well for most of it. And I also used a wire wheel, which is where I got that from, because I was trying different ones. And anyway, so we got it on, got it all cleaned up. So the next part will be to paint it all. I'm not going to show you all that part. And you may think, well, Trip, why did you just go ahead and not start working on the carburetor? Because, you know, after frustrations and whatnot, as I said, sometimes it's good just to get something done, accomplish something. So I'm accomplishing this. So this is probably going to be a short video. I'm going to tackle the carburetor. Y'all saw where I rebuilt it, so I don't know why that thing is leaking. If there's a bad O-ring in it or what, I'll have to tear it back apart and figure that out. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this painted. I'll probably include some pics on the end here, but it always seems to be something. So one day we'll get this interior done. I'd hope to drive it by Christmas. Well, it's past Christmas. By the time this uploads, it'll probably be past New Year's. So yeah, things don't always go as planned. So anyway, oh, let me point out the top of the video, beginning, I showed you the stuff on the wall. Well, here's another one from my same friends, Mike and Brenda got me here. You know, what do you do after you build 1,000,000 Mustangs? You start on the second million. So that was a pretty neat little ad that they got, so I hung it up out here for continued inspiration. So with that, guys, again, give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Please leave comments. Well, and we'll just go from here. So with that, guys, I'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks.